What's up, YouTube? It is a lovely Saturday. I actually have this night off from work, so I am celebrating, I guess, in a way, by signing up with Shudder. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not in any way, what is it called? Now, this is no way at all any kind of advertisement for Shudder. They're not asking me to promote Shudder in any kind of way, but I just signed up today. Everyone I know has been telling me to sign up with Shudder because, I mean, if you like horror movies as much as I do, why not? I was telling my family earlier, I pretty much only watch horror movies on Netflix, so why not make my life simpler and just go with something like Shudder, who just plays horror movies and thrillers and things like that. So, if you are like me and a giant horror movie nerd, then I suggest you check it out. It's actually really cheap. They have a free 7-day trial, and then it's only like $5, I think, a month, if I'm saying that correctly. So today what I'm going to do is celebrate by picking out a movie on Shudder and just giving it a go. I'm going to try to watch a horror movie every single day for the next 7 days because my free trial is up in 7 days. So I'm trying to give Shudder a good chance to impress me, see what kind of cool things they have, and if I like what I see in the next 7 days, I'm going to keep going with it, and I will let y'all know what all I watch. I will keep you updated, and I will let you know what I think of Shudder overall at the end of this 7-day period. So today, what I've decided to do is watch Legend of Boggy Creek. Now, I've actually heard of this before, but it's kind of like what they call a docudrama movie, so I assume that means that it's filmed in kind of like a Blair Witch style, where it's filmed as if it was supposed to be a documentary, and then things kind of take a frightening turn for the worse there. But anyway, it's a movie out of the 70s, so I'm not expecting anything super amazing as far as CGI and special effects. But sometimes movies that come out of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, as far as horror movies go, are really intense. And the character building, I feel, is a little bit better back then than it is now. So I will let y'all know. Right now it has a 3 out of 5 rating. Which, if we're being honest, horror movies don't really get a fair go of it when it comes to ratings. Because they're very hit or miss. You either love them or you absolutely hate them. So I will catch up with y'all in just a few once I'm done with the movie to let you know what I thought of it. So until then, peace. So I just finished the Legend of Boggy Creek on Shudder, and while I am pleased with the playback on Shudder, because you know how some websites and whatnot that have movies and stuff on them, they just have like really horrible playback, like they're constantly stopping and buffering and they're constantly just being annoying. Shudder wasn't like that. It played pretty smoothly all the way through. I did have to switch over to Google Chrome to be able to use it, though. I couldn't use it with the regular internet. I'm very tired right now, okay? So just don't judge right now because I'm just working on like 3 hours of sleep right now. Anyway, Legend of Boggy Creek. I mean, I knew going into it that it was a movie made in the 70s, so that the special effects was going to suck, but I forgot that movies, not all, but most movies made in that time period they have very shitty resolution, right? And for those of us who wear glasses and have bad eyesight anyway, it kind of gave me a headache. Like halfway through, I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to finish watching this? Because it just seems so blurry and out of focus all the time. And at first I thought it was the website. I thought it was just, you know how like sometimes if you start playing a clip on YouTube or whatever, if it's lagging a little bit, it will visually be kind of blurry. And then it will finally sharpen up halfway through. No, it wasn't the website. It was just the fact that this film was made in the 70s and the camera equipment they used just kind of sucked. So there was that. Fear rating, there was absolutely no fear to this movie. 0. If I was giving it a rating on Shudder for fear and how scary it was, it wouldn't even get 1 because it's not scary, like, at all. But you know what? It was pretty interesting because the Legend of Boggy Creek is an actual legend. I cannot say the name of this town. Folk, Arkansas is where it takes place, which is pretty close to Texarkana. It's like right close to the border of Louisiana and Texas. So Folk, Arkansas is where the infamous Boggy Creek runs, and it is, from what this docudrama, whatever you want to call it, says, it's a very small, tiny little town, not many people that live there, but it's been plagued. But this town of Folk is has been plagued by sightings of... Why are you not focusing? Oh, there we go. This tiny town of Folk, Arkansas has supposedly been plagued by sightings of this giant, hairy, Sasquatch-looking creature. But in the documentary, which I thought was pretty interesting, they make a point to separate the Boggy Creek creature from an actual Sasquatch. There's somebody in the clip that mentions that Sasquatch footprints, yada yada yada, suggest that an actual Sasquatch has 5 toes, like more humanoid. But the Boggy Creek creature, the footprints that they found on several occasions that hint at this creature have only had 3 toes. So, I don't know, I guess among the world of Sasquatch enthusiasts, there's some differences in opinion on what exactly is a Sasquatch and what is something else. Anyway, I don't know, whatever. There were a few moments in the movie that I really enjoyed, some reenactments of stories and scenarios that had actually been reported and occurred that were better than the rest of it, but it was a little bit of a snooze fest, I'm not going to lie. So if you're really interested in the Legend of Boggy Creek, I would go ahead and give it a thumbs up and tell you to watch it, because you do learn a little bit about the legend. But if you really... Gosh, I keep yawning. Sorry. But if you're really not interested in watching an hour-and-a-half fuzzy, non-scary at all documentary, then I would suggest just simply Googling the Legend of Boggy Creek and researching it online. Because let me tell you, I mean, okay, granted, I'm working on 3 hours of sleep, so I'm a little tired already, but this thing put me to sleep on more than one occasion. I had to go back and rewatch some of the footage because I was like, I just missed all of that. But anyway, it was pretty interesting. Not a complete waste of time, I guess, but if you're specifically trying to watch a scary film or docudrama or whatever, no, don't pick this one. Do not pick this one at all. Other than that, that's all I have to say about it. I might try to watch something that is legitimately scary now, but probably not because I am just too damn tired. And I know it's sad, but even the other day, because I've been so sleep deprived lately, I was watching freaking Deliver Us from Evil, which is possibly, very possibly my all-time favorite horror movie, hands down. And it is very loud and is very action-packed and things like that. I fell asleep in that. Like, okay, you must be really sleep deprived if you can fall asleep during a giant exorcism scene where a guy is screaming his lungs out for like 5 minutes straight. You must be sleep deprived. So yeah. But anyway, so far I do enjoy Shudder. It's kind of like Netflix in the fact that you can like create your own list of movies that you're planning on watching, and which I always enjoy doing that because it allows me to kind of surf through the options and then just kind of create what I actually want to watch. Now, I do still have my Netflix account, and so far what I've noticed is, yes, obviously Shudder has more options when it comes to horror movies, thriller movies, and stuff like that, but they do not have a lot of the newer horror movies and more popular horror movies that I've been looking for. But Netflix does. Now, Netflix doesn't always get them because there are some that just don't come anywhere, and I have to literally like go Redbox them or just suck it up and pay the outrageous cost to go see it in the theater. Which there are a few movies that I will be doing that for. The Nun, coming out, when is that, September? I think The Nun's coming out in September. Oh yeah, I will be paying out of pocket to go have the theater experience for that movie. If there is a midnight show near me, I'll probably go to the midnight show. I'll probably just ask off that night and go, because I have been waiting for that movie since, when was it, the first Conjuring? I don't remember if it was the first Conjuring or if it was one of the Annabelle movies where we first get introduced to the nun character. And I was so frightened and like morbidly excited by that character, and I knew in my heart that they were eventually going to make a movie based on that character, and the fact that they finally have, I am very excited. So I will definitely, obviously I have some pretty high hopes for that movie, so I am so hopeful that it does not bomb and that it does not suck, because I will be very upset if it sucks. But most of the movies that have come out of the Conjuring franchise are actually really good. The only thing that I'm worried about with The Nun is that I don't think it's directed by James Wan, and I think he has done most, if not all, of the other Conjuring movies. And he's like my favorite horror movie director, hands down, right now. Like, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of others that I really love. I mean, Guillermo del Toro is a legend. But right now, in this, like, in modern times, James Wan is like my man. I don't know what trauma he had growing up, but he definitely understands the horror genre more than I think so many other people do. And as a director, he does some really amazing things. And the one thing I love about his movies, I don't know, I haven't seen every single one of his movies, so I'm not trying to generalize here, but especially with the Conjuring universe, is there's not overt sexualization in these movies. In fact, I think I've seen Conjuring, The Conjuring 2, Annabelle 2. I don't know if there's any other related movies out right now until The Nun comes out, but the reason I love these horror movies so much is because they don't make it so damn trashy. They don't try to make it all about nudes, because let's be honest, every horror movie that I've ever seen that was 90% nudity sucked. I was always let down. Like, okay, great, boobs. I have boobs. I don't need to see them every 5 seconds. And we all know in horror movies that anybody that gets naked is going to die. Like, it is inevitable. You take your bra off, you are going to die in this movie. You try to have sex in this movie, you're going to die. Yeah, goodbye. So I really have learned to not like or not enjoy horror movies that have a ton of like sex scenes in them, because it's so predictable on how this is going to play out, and it just gets annoying because it's like, okay, with movies that have a bunch of sex scenes in it, I feel like the crowd gets so wrapped up in the trashiness of it that they don't react like in a true horror form. I don't feel like they actually get as scared and terrified as they would with some of these movies, like from The Conjuring. In The Conjuring, there's no sex, there's no nudity, there might be a few curse words, but the fact that he is able to separate all of that, he is able to, James Wan is who I'm talking about, the fact that he is able as a director to take all of the sex sells bullshit out of his films and still make them some of the most frightening, absolutely fantastic horror movies I've ever seen. That is really amazing. Like, really amazing. I absolutely love him just for that. So, if you have not seen any of the films in the Conjuring franchise, I highly encourage you to definitely see at least a few of them. Conjuring 1 and 2, and I want to say Annabelle 2. Yeah. Definitely see all of them. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Go ahead and see all of them before you go see The Nun, because I feel like there is going to be some major ties to the movies. I know The Nun's going to be like a prequel, and it's going to kind of give us a heads up or a deeper understanding of this demonic nun character. But go back and watch these movies. I guarantee you will absolutely love them. They are in my top 10 favorite horror movies of all time. Every single one of them is in my top 10. So, like, 4 movies are of The Conjuring in my top 10 list, because, in my opinion, they are just that good. Other than that, I hope y'all are having a great weekend. I hope y'all are having fun. If you have nothing to do this weekend, I highly encourage you to go on Shudder. You get 7 free days of a trial, so you could always just kind of sign up, and then if you don't like what you see, you don't have to commit to anything or anything like that. But yeah, I encourage you all to go out this weekend and get scared. I know it's sad, but I'm already hyped up for freaking October. I'm ready for Halloween already. Halloween is like my Christmas. So as we get closer to Halloween, expect a whole lot more videos from me. Ton more videos from me, because I get so excited and so hyped up when we hit fall and when we hit that Halloween season. So I will talk to y'all later. I'm sorry the film is so jumpy, by the way. I'm holding it by my hand because my little thingy mabob that usually holds my phone is broken. So I guess buy a new one of those. Anyway, I love you all. I hope y'all are having a frightening and awesome weekend, and I will see y'all on the next video. And until next time, I hope you stay scared, because we'll probably be doing another video discussion on the next one. Or we might be doing something else that's creepy, because I'm just in a creepy kind of mood. So yeah, I will see y'all next time. Enjoy life. Much love to my supporters. And if you enjoy this video content, by all means, please subscribe. Please give me a like. For no reason in particular. I just like knowing that other people in the universe are as weird and morbid and awesome as me. So I will see y'all later.